Hey guys, good morning. It's 9 a.m. Just trying to get this video out a little bit. I'm gonna have to start getting up a little bit earlier, get some videos out to you guys in the morning. I know we're just doing the tech service now, but the videos I think are helpful to get us started. Norwegian Cruise Lines had a nice trade yesterday, 1658 to 1805. Left a little money on the table, but we have the inside track with that one, and had a feeling they were going to announce this. That's why I checked to make sure if anybody was still holding that they got out of the stock. I thought the announcement would come after hours last night, but it came this morning on the secondary. So stock's down a little bit. I don't know if it's going to impact it on a longer term chart basis technically, if it's just going to come back into the 16s and then kind of hold that area. It seems like you just keep throwing out the negative news and it keeps absorbing it. At some point it's going to find a bottom here. Unless something disastrous comes out. Tonight's going to be interesting. Netflix is up for earnings, and this will be the first big stock. And that was a little bit of a spy chart there, just for general technicals on the market. I think the market's kind of going through distribution here. I think there's a definite high in the QQQ. The only thing that's going to cure that is time. Meaning that if we fired back up there on price because of whatever, Netflix or something that had the market rocking and rolling, it would not hold that level. So it'll be interesting to see how all these stocks that have run, and this is the first one up to bat, is Netflix. How are they going to react to earnings? This is probably baked in that it's going to be a kick-ass season. The quarterly is going to be probably a big quarterly, but they're going to sell the news. I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll definitely set a trend going forward for how we're going to trade some of these high flyers that have been moving, the Zooms and Pelotons and all these going into this stay-at-home theme earnings season. So it'll be huge. This morning, we talked about Netflix, LRN, and we're kicking ass on this one. The only concern I had was that we would get a pullback or I would have held a big position. And it would have been nice to have not had this concern with during Trump's speech about forcing people to come back to school, because everything was here for this stock that I liked. I liked the metrics on the fundamentals. I liked the chart. Strong breakout extension, and then of course the Citron report kind of brought me back. This stock was off my radar for a while, so we're looking for that lower 60s with a stop at 36. We can probably just move the stop now. I wouldn't want to see it close below 40.90, I guess, at this point. But, there's nothing wrong with kind of selling strength. Where there's a channel top today, I don't know, maybe somewhere just above 47. But to scale out and then try to scale back in, it's a little tricky. But I'm not completely opposed to it. Yesterday, some IPOs popped a little bit, but I've learned my lesson on these. I'm going to there's a couple ways I'm going to play them. I'm going to look for a definitive bottom on some of these, unless I'm just scalping intraday, like I did on, because yesterday I did GoCo. Perfect example. Company that I like fundamentally, really interesting company, but intraday was just like selling. And I finally just said, all right, this looks like the bottom, because it was like one of those weird gut feelings, like you just feel like people are throwing in the towel, because you could watch different levels of support just break. And here was my intraday chart, and you could see this first pennant, instead of popping from here, it broke, and then you can see this consolidation building energy, and then it broke, and then you can see this other consolidation building energy, and then it broke, and it just kept breaking levels. And then we pop back up, and now we can't get even above the intermediate channel intraday. Can extend that to the right. And then this one here got me interested, this 18s, because now you're below the offering price on the IPO to insiders I think it was $19 a share. So I took 1,000 share position at $18.95, and it was kind of all over the place. And it was kind of just I don't even know how to explain. I don't normally do these kind of trading. This is the kind of stuff that gets me into trouble. No stop. I'm like, I think it's going to pop up to 1965. And it kind of popped a little bit over there and then pulled back. And then on the last pullback, there was a little bit more than I expected, all the way back down to 19 again, just above where I bought it. So I sold the second bounce. I think I made like $400. In any case, let's look at this morning. SPAQ. I don't know. Something I like about this chart. It's at 14.16. I don't know. I just like this daily chart. I think I just like this long base and then this huge explosion, and now a little 2-day higher high, higher low. And the company's interesting too. So I don't know. Well, hanging man. I like this. I just like this. I don't know why. I just wouldn't want to see it go below 1370 for too long intraday. But this is definitely on our red to green list for sure. Following the schooling at home online theme, there is a company that I'm looking at, and I'm a little bit on the fence, but this could be a monster. Ticker symbol is, if I can find it, let me pull it up on, I'm going to find the ticker symbol and I'm going to text it out to you guys. But they do a lot of the software for safety protocol for like schools, passwords and, kind of like a FireEye type of situation. And it's a small microcap company. They did a reorganization. They're out of compliance with NASDAQ. And I've been reading about the company and I don't know, today it kind of popped. The only thing I don't like about it is that, let me see if I can find it again. I don't know why I didn't keep it. And I'm going to go a couple more. Oh, BKYI. I just don't like a lot of these wicks have been sold into, these big spikes, and they sell into every one of them, right? None of them holds. So I normally hate to see stuff like that. But all those aside, if you just look at the base trading of this, and let's see if we can kind of draw a channel in here. We would say that kind of this is like the base trading area. And then this area in here. So we're in this consolidation kind of frame other than this little washout. And I guess that's in between 74 cents and like 95 cents. And we're right back just under that consolidation around 99. It gapped up this morning, but it couldn't hold it. I hate to see that. So that means there's a lot of stranded sellers at higher prices. So there's definitely going to be some pressure on this. But I might take a small position and just kind of hold it with, we always call it the trash to cash. If the traders get a hold of this thing and decide that this is going to be one that's going to move, I hate this prior price history. One could be moving it with the online school theme stocks. This could be a rock and roller. So it's up 25% this morning. Let's just keep it on the radar. BKYI. Yesterday, I said MRNA, you should fade it. I don't know if you guys were able to short it, make some money. Down again this morning. So that was a good trade, obviously. If you caught that one, I just don't think it holds its valuation. A lot of insider selling there too. So again, down this morning, $79 a share. I'm probably gonna get inside this channel, maybe 75 area, but we'll see. Like I said, it was at 92 pre-market yesterday, so I said be careful if you're gonna short it. Let it kind of pop back up again, and you can see in the morning. You can't really short it right out of the gate because you would have given out shares at 80.20, and then it ran to 81. I think it had a high of, I forget what it was, and that might be actually today or yesterday right here. So here's the morning yesterday. It had a high of 92 in pre-market. So actually, you could have shorted that right off the bat. I got it at 83.70, so I waited for this first bounce up in here to 84.95, and then nice sell off there. I don't like to hold these overnight, but obviously this would have worked out a little bit. So SHOP is interesting every day. We've talked about that one. They seem to always buy weakness on this, so let's see where this kind of base is at. I was short yesterday, and Kevin O'Leary came on, and I was like, oh god, I was worried about covering, so I moved my stop way down, and the stock really did nothing for a little while, and then I covered my short. And then I bought long at like 937, 30 shares. And I got out too early. I got out the first spike. I think I got up to like 946. So I was happy with that and got out. So this morning, a couple stocks on the move. Boxel, which I traded last night while on my phone in the parking lot at Chick-fil-A waiting for food. And I just kept buying the dips and then selling and then buying back and then selling and then buying back and then selling and then buying back. I had an offer at 313 right at the close, and I pulled it. And I was like, this thing could gap in the morning. I'm going to be upset if it does. So my shares would have been filled right at the close, and I pulled it really at 7:58 p.m. But this is kind of an interesting stock too. But I think people are trying to play us with the stay-at-home theme for school and education, online education. But I think they do a lot of supplying for monitors and stuff in school. So fundamentally, I don't know. This one, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not really into this one, but let's see if it pulls back. It's got some support around the 290s, I believe. So SPAQ looks interesting, maybe on a red to green. Today's one of those days where, I don't know, I'm not too excited. NXTC is gapping up this morning. Oof, brutal chart. But I think they had an earnings or something, came back out, and they're popping it up a little bit. Wow, that's a nasty chart. RDHL, JNUG we talked about. Be careful with the gold. We were hitting a top channel the other day, and now we're back down to 126. And the channel was more with GDXJ, since we don't look at these leverage ETFs longer term. And here was the channel top that I was talking about when I put out that warning there when it was up in here, and then sure enough we got a really sharp pullback. They're buying the pullbacks though. I don't know. I'm positive on gold, but we're still we got overbought here a little bit on the RSI, and it seems like once again it needs to power up. It needs to kind of consolidate before a move up. You've even seen it here. These consolidations are sometimes downward before you wedge and then you pop. So maybe we do another one of those. I don't know. It's a little bit of an intraday. I'm not really into buying and holding that. BLCT, this thing's killing me. We got a little pop yesterday. Today it's kind of all over. I think it's trying to find a bottom here. I don't know. I'm gonna trade these a little bit different in the future, these IPOs. And there are 3 IPOs today, and I have really no interest other than watching them technically. And they are, let's see which ones we got up today. Because who knows? I mean, it's the market's perception. It's traders. It's whatever. And a couple of them didn't open yesterday. I don't know if they pushed them. They shelved them for a little while. RLAY, Relay Therapeutics. These have been hot by us, so we'll see how that goes. RLAY. TIG is Train Insurance. That looked vaguely interesting. It's pricing at $15. RLAY is pricing at $20. And then HPX.U. I didn't even look at that one. That's pricing at $10, but pretty decent size float, 22,000. What else we got going on? LRN, like we said, it's kicking butt. I think most of everybody got in 38, 39, 40. You're already at, I think we hit 45, 46, almost pre-market. What else we got going on? SEDG looks weak. GoCo was the one I was trading yesterday. I think this is trying to find a bottom. This is actually what I'm going to be focusing on today, GoCo. This $19 area, this seems to be like a washout dump right here, and that we've getting down to the 1860, which is very close to what we got, a little bit lower than what we got here. And I like to see intense buying from areas like that where we pop up, not where we just kind of pop and then roll back down again. So obviously we know the resistance is probably going to be right around 1980, 1990, and then there's a big pivot at 2020. So, but some of these, we don't know. Some of these have IPOs have gone horribly wrong and then kind of based and then fired back up and then broke their all-time highs, which all-time is kind of funny because I've only been trading a few days. But so Netflix is definitely on watch. I'm kind of skeptical on this market move. I said yesterday I thought that the NASDAQ was going to kind of roll over. I shorted some intraday SQQQ. It was a little bit whippy. I made some money, but not as much as I wanted to, and I probably should have held some over. What else we got going on today? This company RTIX is really interesting to me. RTIX, but I need to get it in the low threes. So it's at $395 right now. They do spinal surgeries, and they've made some changes on the company. I'd like to get it somewhere in the lower channel, like under 350. This is coming into a big area of resistance, obviously around $4. So I'm not going to chase this, and it's going to have a hell of a time in between here and there. So risk reward doesn't benefit me yet, especially when this was down at $1.50 not too long ago. So interesting company, but I don't want to chase this move. I think they had a voter. They had a vote on the company's sale of spinning off one of their segments, and it was a positive vote for the company financially. Shareholders approved the sale of that portion of the company, which kind of frees them up and gets them a little bit more laser focused on their core business. So I want to buy RTIX in the low threes, but I'll wait to see. And then ACIU is a big gapper this morning on some news as far as one of their stage threes, I think, drugs they're working on. I think it's for Alzheimer's, which has been a very elusive disease for people, for companies trying to cure, or at least find something to kind of slow down the rate of progression. So a little skeptical on these. I hate to be, yesterday I think I said glass half full, but I meant to say glass half empty. I'm always a little bit more on the cautious side. And then we'll close up with AYRO. Let's keep this on the radar because I do like this company. I just don't like that it was 36 cents and then moved to $8. I mean, the Fibonacci, if we go from maybe 50 cents to 8 is what, 750. Half of that is 375. 375 from the bottom, 4. So we're probably close to a 50% retracement, just a little bit above it. I don't know. This is kind of interesting to me, this company. As long as we don't close below like 410. Something about this that I still like. And let's just watch how it trades intraday. Just keep an eye on AYRO for shape change. And then, actually I was going to close with that, but we'll close with WIMI. WIMI. Another one that actually looks kind of interesting on the 1 year daily. It has more to do with, let's just put it this way. Let's look at a 10-day, 20-minute chart. Once again, long base. It was a recent IPO. That just shows you ones that just flounder and do nothing, and then next thing you know, from $3 to $29. Why can't they grab one of mine and do that, But like I said, here is the 5-day trading chart. Obviously, we just discount that crap there. So, I mean, just anything above there was just going to get sold. So you probably have some kind of like a pivot wedge starting to form in here. And then maybe a break above, I don't know, 1720, 1730 gets it going intraday. I just like the kind of curl, right? That's it. Nothing crazy here. Can it get back up and reach what would have been a prior resistance level before it broke down, which would be around, 2090, 21 maybe. So let's keep an eye on that one too. And we will go from there. Anything else comes up intraday, I will text you guys and we'll talk soon.